Hello and welcome back to Let's Play Rogue Trader with me, Break It Down. Let's return to the bridge and level up. Alright, coercion. And toughness. Strength. And athletics. Demolition. And agility? Or perception? Perception. Lorizinos. And strength. Though willpower is also an option for him. Awareness. And perception. Agility. And Medicae. Perception. And Lore Warp. Perception. Yeah. Perception and Lore Imperium. Strength. And tech use. Commerce. And toughness. We couldn't give that to him. Not iconoclast at all. Increases all skills by 10, and that seems pretty good. Sure, we'll slap that on. Any gloves to give him? Doesn't have run and gun. As for commerce, we had a, we'll give this to her. There we go. Alright. Going the wrong way. Let's go investigate the definitely not gene stealers on our ship. Plasma drive chambers. So Argenta will be replaced at some point. Outside of her, though, I think this is going to be our A team. I'd rather have Jai than Cabela, but since I did romance Cabela, kind of on a whim, I might keep her in the party. I take that back. We're going to replace 2 of our companions. Frost Buddy. What kind of insulation is that supposed to be? If you kill us, Matthias will drag me back from beyond the grave just to give me an earful. Scrap this and start again. I will double check it. I guess both Argenta and Cabela will be replaced. The light from the Infernus Master's low stick reveals a surprised but amiable expression. Onyx lip is split and a fresh bruise is blossoming on his cheekbone. Lord Captain, I expect to see you in this compartment. Are you out on a stroll, taking the sights of your domain? The blue glow plasma is especially striking at this time of the watch. In the most mawkish Infernus I've ever met, Master Montag. A burly man in coveralls furrows his bushy eyebrows. His sparse hair stands on end. Your Lordship, welcome. I'm Shift Foreman Nige, in charge of this section. If you need anything, I'm here to help. Not Heinrich's bruises. How is your face? The Enforcer's baton is pretty sturdy, but not as thick as the skull of a hard-boiled Infernus. I have to give it to Jocasta. Her officers earn their rations. They clobber you good. Infernus Master, what exactly are you doing here? I'm carrying out a routine drive inspection. The regulations require scheduled checks to make sure the insulation isn't weakened, sensors haven't been tampered with, and the reactor isn't about to blow anytime soon. Just business as usual. It is strange that the senior officer is conducting the inspection alone. According to the regulations, there should be an entire squad of Inferni, and the personal presence of the Infernus Master is necessary only in emergencies. Heinrich, why are you really here? Found me out, have you? Heinrich gives you a wink and pulls on his low stick. I'm not really here about the reactor. I heard a rumor that you'd gone to investigate the plasma drive chambers, so I thought I'd make sure everything went smoothly. Your Lordship is accustomed to associating with people of your rank, or officers at the very least. But here, this place is home to voidfarers of simpler manners, whose clan customs may be unfamiliar to you. The voidfarer of simpler manners furrows his brows. Our customs are decent ones, Master Montag. I'd rather boil myself in plasma than let anything happen to the Lord Captain. No offense, Nige. If you can find even 3 people in this bay who can give a report without turning the air blue, I'll gladly admit I was wrong. Heinrich grins at the now silent Nige. You're a good bunch. I hate to see you insult his lordship with some foolishness, and not even realize it. I require no protection, Infernus Master. As your lordship wishes. Might as well carry out a bay inspection then, since I'm here. I won't interfere in your business. Nige, have you ever seen a symbol that looks like a serpent in front of a star? Somebody keeps daubing it on the equipment and bulkheads. If I find the scoundrels, I'll tear their hands off and send them for servitorization. The ship foreman frowns. Is it some kind of sedition? I didn't know. If you see one of these, let me know. We'll try to find these artists. I want to know more about this bay. We're proud of our chambers. Power feeds the ship's main engine from here. There are other drives on the ship, but ours is the mightiest. That's to say, we do important work. Working with plasma is dangerous, but we have a good crew, and not too many incidents. The Steam Tech priests are satisfied with us. The machine spirits are all working as they should. The Inferni don't complain about us either. We fix cracks in the reactor vessel on time, and we fix leaks. Shift Foreman, tell me about yourself. What kind of person are you? Niles looks at you in confusion. I'm a voidsman, your lordship. Grew up on Footfall, joined the crew at 14, spent my whole life in this bay. I've raised no family and made no fortune, but I've climbed my way up the ranks. I don't know anything about but my trade in this compartment. I am my trade in this compartment, Lord Captain. I must take my leave.
I always keep my options open.
Now shift yourselves, you brainless lumps. If I catch any of you slacking, I'll leave you without rations. So I do assume that our Infernus Master is a gene stealer. Possibly the head of the cult. That brainless lug. What's it doing now? The valve is the other way. Look, it's turning the air again. With the pitiful clanking sound, Servitor's claw docks with the mechanism and begins to perform the necessary manipulations.
Keep your wits about you.
Harness breaches Aquila. Enemies within the wearer's area of attack suffer minus 8% dodge, and allies within the wearer's area of attack gain plus 8% dodge for 1 round. Backpack with armor-piercing ammo. Wearer's range attacks inflict 0 levels of bleeding on their targets. Interesting. Nige bows deferentially. I goes to search, your lordship. None of your darn business. How about that? Hey, where's Hob? Too much rock up before the shift again? No, he didn't listen to the briefing and stuck his hand in the reactor. How the machine spirits didn't kill him instantly, I have no idea. So he's still in the infirmary. No, Tech Priest Deltar sent him over for servitorization. Maybe he'll do some actual work now. Cash note. All the scrap reads is received. Need more. Cargo K-189, check. Cargo L-458, check. Yeah, I was reading that. Throne. There's still one missing. You counting them for the 3rd time won't make the box appear out of thin air. Let's admit that it's gone and go report this. Wait, I have one more look. Cargo A-113, check. Cargo B-982, check.
This is intriguing.
Improvised Weber. Targets hit by this weapon must pass an agility resistance test or become immobilized for 1 round. At the end of its turn, the affected target must pass an agility resistance test to remove the effect or suffer direct damage equal to the target's agility bonus.
Is there money to be made?
You just make out a faded symbol on one of the tiles, a serpent and a star. There appears to be someone stashed behind it. The stash has long been abandoned. Repeat these words and commit not the transgression of industrial accident. Praise the Omnissiah thrice, and only then lay your hand upon the lever. Pull the lever with confidence and restraint, for the machine spirit tolerates no haste.
I always have a backup plan.
Loot up here. Servitor replacement request number 11. Esteemed Tech Priest Deltar, this is unacceptable. For the 10th time, you sent us the same faulty servitors. It's been over 2 weeks. We still can't raise the lift that's stuck between our platform and platform 92M, all because of your servitors. For the love of the throne, decommission these things if you can't fix them. Respectfully, Shift Foreman Nige. I already read that. There's an old cache hidden under one of the serpent symbols. That's just what we need, more secret stashes. Hope there's nothing forbidden in it. Forgive me, your lordship, The Void's men are simple folk. Been trying to win them off their grubby habits for years. But give them anything worth having, all they want to do is hide it in a hole like a rat. Show the note. I found this in one of the caches. What is that? Nigel's thick eyebrows knit together angrily. You almost think you see a power charge jolt across them. We've got smugglers on the loose. Who else would be hiding these strange messages? I have them all drawn and quartered on the turbine. I will. And I'd like to find out what they're smuggling. Found the improvised Weber. I found this in a cache marked with a serpent. Nige holds the weapon as if it is going to bite him, sweat beating on his forehead. Machine sparks shake me. A homemade weapon, assembled right in this compartment. The markings are the same as those on the local machine parts. This is a very serious matter. It seems someone is plotting a riot, and secretly building their own arsenal from scavenged materials right under our noses. Let's not start anything yet.
Let us not do
We have more to explore. No, not that much more to explore. Alright, go back and talk to Nige again. We need to find and capture whoever set up these caches and hid the weapons. The shift foreman shrugged sheepishly. To tell you the truth, I'm no good at hunting rule breakers. It's not what I do. You give the orders, and we will do it. We shall set an ambush near the caches. Sooner or later, someone will come to check on them. The shift foreman's thick fingers drummed thoughtfully on his tool belt. These guys are smart. They'll spot the enforcers near the cache to stay out of sight. And your lordship will be spotted even quicker. Nige, shall we have your people lie in wait? The shift foreman's voice grows quieter. I just wish I knew who to trust with it. Our villain could be anyone from the Bay Crew. If we pick the wrong person, we'll blow the whole ambush. We need someone from the outside who won't draw attention to themselves. Then we'll use the Inferni. They often carry out inspections here. No one will suspect them. Hey Monte, come over here. We need a couple of your braver boys and girls for a job. Nige smiles and adds more quietly. We need people to keep watch over something. And maybe to break a few noses. Clenching his fist until his knuckles crack, Heinrich resolutely says, We'll help. I have a couple of people in mind. Tough lads. I'll get them here right away. I am ready. Let's catch that vermin. Heinrich smirks ominously. He throws a low-stake bud on the floor and puts it out with his boot. Consider the dirtbag caught, Donnie Dawson. You didn't say your lordship. Interesting. The man kneeling before you is an ungainly build, a stubborn jaw, and a heavy gaze. He looks no different from any other worker in this compartment, except for the tattoo on his forearm, his design resembling a worm devouring a star. One of the Infernus workers is holding the Weber taken from the prisoner, exactly like the one that was in the cache. The Master-at-Arms regards the Infernus sternly. The weapon, handed over. What you saw, keep it to yourself. She forces out the words through clenched teeth. Your cooperation with the enforcers will be noted. Heinrich does not take his eyes off the prisoner's neck, his lips twisted in distaste. Study the prisoner. The pigment of the tattoo looks fresh, standing out starkly against the color of his skin, which means that it is a very recent addition. You look closely, you notice a pair of scars at the base of his neck, suspiciously reminiscent of an almost healed bite. Heinrichs, you're going to burn a hole in him with that glare of yours. The interrogator slowly shakes his head. It's too early for that. Let's see what he has to say first. Who is this man? Shuf Galai, or Shauf Galai, servant of the blessed Lathe Beta 2 Diligence low-ranking worker, easily replaceable. No apparent signs of mutation. Good work, Heinrich. Were any of your people harmed? Oh, let's say the other thing. The prisoner gives you the smile of a man condemned and snaps. I've got nothing to say to you, heretic. Choking with rage, Sarback grabs them all from her belt. She rasps. Allow me, Lord Captain. Please. Or me. Heinrich's menacing scowl has instantly robbed him of his friendly charm. I'd be happy to oblige. I'm the heretic, am I? The fear has robbed him of reason, where he has a very skewed perspective. Prisoner jerks if trying to point at you with his tied hands. You're a false believer, a fake captain. You're leading people into the gloom of heresy, away from salvation. Argenta exhales hoarsely. Darn you all, distorters of holy words. The speeches of your enemies, Mon Kai, sound just like your own, fanatical, composed of nothing but rage and contempt. Is even that not enough to make you wonder? Calm yourself. Talk to me, and I'll not let these people do what they intend to do. The man laughs with contempt, then starts chanting. Tempting are the promises of heretics, but barren is the darkness cursed void in which they bury the souls of those who trust them. I'll oversee this interrogation myself. Yeah, let's do some intimidation tactics first. Raise your voice. Watch your tongue, peasant. You're in the presence of the rogue traitor. Terrorize me, torment me. Gratify me your rotten heart, heretic. Know the strength of a martyr's spirit, and come to fear it. The prisoner's eyes flash as he gives you an inviting gap-toothed smile. Alright. I'll oversee this interrogation myself. As you command, although I believe this zealot will require some effort. Questioning fanatics is a long and exhilarating process. Abelard grumbles, and once again the Lord Captain is doing his subjects' work for them. Dirty, bloody work. Oh, here we go. A Heinrichs. I invite you to demonstrate what an interrogator of the Inquisition is capable of. The interrogator touches different spots on the prisoner's body, coldly commenting on the effects his sorcery is having on the writhing man. He makes his blood boil, then freeze, then boil again. He arrests his heart, makes it beat rapidly, then back again. At last, Heinrich steps away. I am finished, Donnie Dawson. If that didn't suffice, I do not recommend applying biomancy again. We may lose the prisoner. Man whimpers incoherently, but grits his teeth. Your song. I hear it. I won't break. Sarback smiles longingly. Not much longer, your lordship. Inflict physical torture. Everyone has their limit. The screams of pain eventually give way to weak, long wails. The man's body lies broken, slashed, cut open, and burnt. His ruptured skin reveals open fractures and torn tendons. His eyes widen in terror at your smallest movement in his direction. A gurgling sob falls on the man's lips. Stop. I'll talk. Sarback looks at him with a radiant smile. The prisoner is ready to cooperate, your lordship. Whom do you serve? The cult of the Ravenous Star. The true believers, the righteous, the purest congregation, they who hear the songs of his angel. This angel, is that the old sorcerer who appeared before me and promised my demise? Did he brainwash you all, or is someone else leading you? Old sorcerer? No. The angel is not of the woeful human form. He is splendor. His visage is a divine inspiration to the many-armed emperor. You, faithless one, were granted the honor of gazing upon the Magus, our good shepherd, our messenger. The captive lets out a deranged chuckle. If you beheld the angel, you'd scratch your own brain out through your eye sockets, for you'd realize the depth of your wickedness before him. Many-armed. Deep furrow appears on Sarback's brow. Blast it, Lord Captain. We're dealing with an extremely dangerous Xenos cult that excels at hiding among humans. I fear you're right, Mr. Sarback. Actually, please continue. I'll correct you should your information contradict credible intelligence. What do you know about our enemy? Very little. As per regulations, every Master at Arms passes on special instructions to their successor. Instructions that more resemble disturbing tales. Some of them mention genetic cults, covert clans, cliques, and sects that all share one common trait: Xenos infestation. These things pass themselves off as ordinary people, as rabble or preachers corrupting new groups. They pray to their unholy idol, which they often refer to as the many-armed emperor. They create ever-growing families and produce offspring, hideous at first, with each new generation more and more human in appearance. And then they rise up. Gene Stealers, Donnie Dawson. That's what these enemies of humanity are called. When such a creature bites its victim, it injects its gene into the body and dominates their mind. Or more accurately, it binds it to the shared mind of the brood. The victim undergoes no visible change, but their offspring will carry the brand of inhuman nature. Bestial maws, extra limbs, or something worse at times. Perfect genetic outliers. However, the cult makes sure to keep any of their kind with unnatural appearance out of sight. After several generations, the mutants become practically indistinguishable from humans, and then something in their genes once more begets fully developed Xenos, capable of beginning the cycle of infestation anew. I have heard of them, and every tale was awash in blood. They are the reapers of the Great Devourer, predators that have bloomed from its seed, beasts whose gift is to turn weak-spirited into their enthralled fighters. Beware of them, Elentok. When they are near, even a loyal friend may turn out to be a messenger of death. Yeah, Heinrich. So, the Gene Stealer cults basically get sent to planets ahead of the Tyranid fleets to set up the planet for Tyranids to come and devour it. They're basically like a forward sleeper cell. Why the many-armed Emperor? Their arms, Lord Captain. These Xenos have more arms than normal. They twist and pervert our faith, probably for the sole reason that it gives them blasphemous pleasure. The more likely reason is that it helps them blend in. They hide their heresy behind the veil of normality. Just one more cult like so many others. Moreover, it is possible that they indeed see their deity that way. Such cultists have been known to describe their grotesque Xenos masters as beautiful during interrogations. Monsters are angels to them, and the God Emperor's worshippers are heretics. Why do they choose to act among the rabble specifically? The lower decks have plenty of dark corners for the Xenos to lie in wait. Commoners are too dull-witted and spineless to identify the threat before it is too late. And at the same time, they are dull-witted and spineless enough to serve as cannon fodder to be thrown at the cult's enemies when the uprising begins. The poor are less likely to pay attention to strange behavior or disappearances. Even if someone sees a genetic monster, they'll chalk it up to a bad case of mutation. Meanwhile, the cult attracts the weak and injured, easy prey for their indoctrinators. In other words, it makes for a convenient staging ground. What is their objective? Power? Bloody sacrifices to their god? Their end goal is always mutiny. They can prepare for many generations, accumulating weapons in numbers, until one day they attack. That day is their day of revelation, the apotheosis of their profane faith. They think that on that day, their blasphemous star children will descend from the void and elevate their worshippers. The creatures that infect the first victims act as scouts for a Xenos race known as Tyranids. After creating a Gene Stealer cult, the Scout evolves into something more complex, an entity called the Patriarch. The collective mind of the brood becomes a psychic beacon for the Tyranids, a beacon that marks the planet as vulnerable. Once the Xenos fleet approaches the infected world, the rebellion begins. The cult strikes the world's defenders in the back, while the Xenos devour all life on the planet. And the cult's true believers certainly do not find the ascension they were promised. Instead, they all become a bio-resource. Food. You have anything more to add, Heinrichs? I'd advise you prepare for the worst. The cult could have been operating on the ship for a long time, in which case it might already have a small army at its disposal. And I'm not talking about infiltrators with a semi-human appearance. Such cults command strong, fast monstrosities whose claws tear through metal like paper. Psychically attuned mutants linked to the brood's collective mind. Specialized abominations and elite specimens at the top of the cult's hierarchy. The enemy is dangerous and has many faces. Let us return to interrogating the prisoner. In lieu of answering, Starback nods grimly, lost in troubling thoughts. How did the conspirators recruit you? I believed. I found him. I bowed to him. His angel's kin granted me a revelation. It entered my flesh. It let me join the congregation. The man's words devolve into nonsensical muttering. The interrogator touches his own neck in the same spot where the prisoner has a fresh scar. A sign of infection, I'm sure of it. I wish to know everything about your vile cult. We believe in the many-armed Emperor, he who waits for his children. cast out into the unknowable abyss. He is kind, merciful. He uproots tyrannies of evil. He sends his angel to the righteous, and angels can follow. The man lowers his gaze with an expression of surprise. It seems he has described his paltry religion in its entirety. This is a pawn, a mindless tool, who is brainwashed and forced into submission. He is not even a distributor of ideology. He was merely fed the rudiments, and without trusting him with anything important, they sent him out to serve and die. What are you plotting? A mutiny? Death. Yours. Even broken, he musters a spiteful sneer. Fake captain. The faithful are already aiming at for your heart. I was ordered to stockpile weapons, so when the fateful hour comes, the righteous would not stand unarmed. I wouldn't say that these improvised Webbers are that much better than fighting with bare hands, but until we're done with the cleanup, a reinforcement will carry a combat knife fit for cutting through nets. Where are you hiding? Where are your leaders? In a sanctuary, a tomb for heretics, a quiet place. The dynastic crypt. The vermin have infiltrated the crypt, holding the bodies of the worthiest servants of the dynasty. No one is allowed inside save the Lord Captain's personal retinue, and they dared. But how? The crypt's defenses are impenetrable. I presume our next objective is the Von Valancius dynastic crypt. Yes, your lordship. We must attack now, while we still have the element of surprise. I'll lead the strike force, but I will require your presence and the Confessor Adalbert's help. Fierce machine spirits guard the dead. Don't let an armed troop pass without a direct command from the rogue traitor and the ring of the ship's confessor. I'll meet you at the doors. Casting a glance at the prisoner, whispering incoherently under his breath, Sarabak adds offhandedly, "And this vile scum, with your permission, I'll throw out of the airlock. I doubt he'll be of any further use." He has proved far more useful than I expected. He must have been in the cult only for a short time, and the psychic connection to his brethren had not taken root in his mind. The amount of torture could have loosened his tongue otherwise. Heinrichs frowns. Things are progressing too smoothly. I don't like it. Absolutely not. He's going to infect more people. Yeah, out of the airlock he goes. It'll be done, your lordship. Yeah, put him on a planet so he can infect more people? Absolutely not.
I always keep
He's
my
been infected.
options
He's going to
open.
create more gene stealers. I don't know if he can become a patriarch because he himself isn't like a full-fledged gene stealer. I assume that anybody can. I'm not... That's a piece of lore I don't know. Either way, he carries the infection, so absolutely not. Alright, but for now I'm going to call it here, and next time we will head towards the dynastic crypt, and I guess assault the gene stealers. So, before this DLC came out, I think the only gene stealers... There were gene stealers in the game, but only on one planet. So we'll see how this goes. But for now, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.